Hey everybody, I'm Brant, and today I'm going to share a little project I did about a week ago. I had to deepen one of the cavities in my guitars. I have a pickguard that had a wafer switch on it, which was a bit too tall for the guitar cavity to sit flush. So I had to deepen it. Now I don't have a lot of tools or woodworking tools. I don't have a router or anything like that. So I wasn't sure how to go about this. So I asked my good buddy Ted, who also has a Tease ST1, the same guitar I needed to work on. And I know he likes to use wafer switches in his guitars. So I asked him, how did you deepen that cavity? And he told me, with a Dremel. In a later conversation with Ted, I asked him, what attachment did you use on the Dremel? Now, to be fair, this was some time later and I wasn't very specific on what I was asking about. But Ted told me that he used this attachment, little sandpaper attachment. What I didn't know at the time was Ted thought I was asking about how to shave down a pickguard to get it fit properly. He didn't know I was asking how to Dremel out the cavity of the guitar. But I didn't know that he didn't know that. So I used this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to deepen this part of the cavity here because I have this pickguard to put in and it's got this wafer switch on it. It's a little bit tall for this cavity. So the way I've been doing this is I asked Ted how he did his tees, because I know he likes to put in wafer switches, how he deepens the cavity here. And he said he used a Dremel, and that's what I've been trying to do. It's taking a lot of time. I don't have a router or anything like that that I can drop down in there and do a nice little cavity. So I've just been trying to sand it down with this. It's working. It's slow going, but I'll kind of show you what I've been doing. So the problem is I don't have a good angle here to get it in there. So I'm having to just do it at an angle like this. Trying to get a little bit at a time. It is getting deeper. And then I've just been using a little, I don't know what grit this is, 60? And then a little 150. Try and smooth it out. There's definitely a little lip in there, or a little depression. All right, I'm just going to keep doing this for a little bit until I think we're getting deep enough. I'm just trying to level it out a little bit and smooth it out some. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but that's what we've got it to so far. Couple little uneven divots. This is my first time doing anything like this, for sure. And I know it doesn't look pretty, but hopefully it does get what I want to accomplish done and get that switch to fit. Let's vacuum that out. So there you can kind of see, let's see if I can get the light better. Progress I've made on it. Not a lot, not pretty, that's for sure. But nobody's going to see this part of the guitar. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a good day, right, Ted? Nah, man, I really enjoy all the people that post this kind of stuff when they're working on their guitars, how they're solving problems, things they want to fix or improve. And when they show how they do it, I think that's fantastic. Because there's a lot of people out there that might have the same issue and not have any idea how to go about it. So if you have knowledge, make a video, share it. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see. I'm just gonna. Is that fitting yet? I don't think that it is. I don't think that it is. I think I have to go some deeper. Well, there's a definite depression there. It's definitely deeper than where it was. I don't think this is the best way to do it. I'm not sure of a better, with the tools that I have, I don't know of a better way to do it. I was putting this off because I don't have the right tools to make this hole deeper, but I was getting really anxious to put this back together. So I asked Ted what he did, and he said this. So I'm wondering if, Ted, I'd really like to hear, is this how you did it? How long did it take? Because this is seems pretty time consuming, which is all right. I got time. Okay. After a few hours of doing that, not constantly, but I took some breaks. I think I finally got it down far enough. I was testing the fit as I went, and it kept not fitting, and I thought, I'm getting really close. It feels really close to the back of the guitar, and I realized I had a wire that kept hanging up. it's lying flat now. So let's just double check. and it's flat. It's flat. So I am going to solder this back in, get the output jack soldered up, everything soldered together, and then I'll screw the holes in for the pickguard, and we'll take care of that. And then we can start putting it back together and be done. So let me get the soldering iron out and all that stuff, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right. So one thing I did notice is that one of the tones has come disconnected. So I need to reattach the ground wire for that. Looks like to there. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, that's on. So now I can start putting it in the body. So I gotta feed this through here. Ground wire. Feed these through here. The output jack. I know I've gone over this a bunch of times in my videos before. But just to reiterate what I'm doing, I'm looking to see which of these terminals that I'm attaching these to. The black is going to go to the negative, which is attached to the shaft, the inside, and the positive, which is, if you look at this closely, the outer ring you see attaches to this, which makes a connection for the positive. So that's connected to this one, and this one is connected to the shaft in the middle, which is a negative. It may not be easy to see from my camera, but when you look at it, they're pretty easy to tell. So black is going to go here. I think that did it. Let's take a look. Yep, looks good. Okay, those are done. I actually am going to put in a couple of screws for the pickguard. So I think I have at least 4 holes that'll line up, so that's good. I have to drill the others. I'm not sure about the back plate. I may have to drill all 6 holes on that one. And put this here. To the claw. That should be good. And that should take care of soldering now before I drill the holes and start screwing everything down for sure. Before I do everything, make sure Everything's working. Good. Okay, so everything's working. I'm done soldering. All right, so I'm just drilling some holes where there's space, and I've just taped it. So I'm not going to go past the tape. That's how deep I need to go. Just making new holes in the body. So I only have one hole that's not plugged, and that's because it's halfway between the old hole and where the new hole would be. So I actually am going to have to, at some point, fill that. But I'm too anxious to worry about it today. I want to get this done. So that looks like that's in good position. And make sure my height is, yeah, it's close enough. Let's get this corner done. And just to give it a little more security, go ahead and screw this in now. So it took me a long time to Dremel that hole to make the switch fit. And I think in part because when I was using the Dremel, I was using it on its side where the sanding was, so it wasn't up and down drilling down because it didn't work that way. I don't know if I can explain it now that everything's closed up again. But essentially I got deep enough, but just not deep enough all the way around. And then I got deep enough all the way around, but I was still dremeling because I couldn't get the pickguard to sit flat. Well, it turns out I actually had a wire hung up on something. So as soon as I moved that, it worked fine. Okay, so check to make sure your wires are out of the way before you're testing fit, I guess, is the moral of that story. Anyway, so that seemed I was questioning Ted's wisdom and using that tool to do that. But you can get it done if you don't have anything else lying around to make that kind of cavity. It can be done with a Dremel, with a sandpaper attachment. And yeah, I'm just glad I didn't punch through to the other side of my guitar. That's what I was really happy about. All right, so I'm going to, this is done. Hooray! See you in a bit. So I managed to get it done. Slowly but surely. If that's all you have, that sandpaper bit will work with your Dremel. However, I don't recommend it. I talked to Ted some days after I'd finished the project and asked him again. And what he said once we had realized that we were talking about two different things, he told me he used a bit like this to Dremel out the guitar cavity, not the sandpaper bit. Next time I'll have to try this one instead, see how that goes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. And as always, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Cheers.